Well, the city of Durban will, from the 16th to the 21st of October, see poets and musicians from South Africa and around the continent converge at the Elizabeth Sneddon Theatre for the 2017 installment of the Poetry Africa International Festival. Well, this is where we will see attendees from the community and surrounding areas be treated to activities ranging from performance pieces, workshops, schools, visits and open mic sessions, to mention only a few. While the festival's acting director Chipo Zhou will be joining us from our Seapoint studios to talk more about the festival. All right, before we get into that interview, we'll take a look at some of your tweets and what you've been responding to. And as far as our show goes, Nontomguni is excited about our book feature, and he says, I'd like to read business books, or I like to read business books. So I'm currently reading Network Marketing by Ngulim Kize, and I so want to get unfathered by Dr. Kisa Mukhashana. Muzugisi says, this is my current read and I can't put it down. Reading is power. Everybody must read and buy books. Hashtag Morning Live. This is the Tabombeki I Know book, edited by Sfiso Mkolisinrov. Another one says, interesting reading, trying to finish it this weekend. And that is Dancing the Death Drill, authored by Mr. Fred Kuman. Audrey McGregor says at Morning Live SABC, everyone should read this amazing book. The title is The Book of Joy by the Dalai Lama and Desmond Tutu in partnership with Douglas. Zizeka says, this book is an eye-opener for me, especially about men. It says, men are from Mars, women are from Venus. One of most popular books that you'll ever find, actually, on the shelves. The next one says, the book I'm currently reading is Look Into My Eyes by Lauren Child. Remember to put down those relevant captions for us and let us know what is so exciting about the books that you are currently reading. And as we mentioned, in November, you'll be able to come to studio here with us on Morning Live, and you can give us some insights into the books that you have read.
Indeed, thank you so much, Pearl. And as Pearl mentioned earlier on, the Poetry Africa International Festival takes place from the 16th to the 21st of October in the city of Durban. And the festival's acting director, Chipo Zhou, joins me now from our Seapoint studio in Cape Town. A very good morning to you, Chipo. Thank you so much for joining us. Now, the festival has this year surpassed the 2-decade mark. How were you able to keep or rather, what's the secret that kept this festival for so long?
Thank you so much for having me. I think the secret has been the focus of the Center for Creative Arts, which is essentially the development of emerging poets and emerging artists within the various festivals. And so we have a strong focus in going out into the communities. We have a strong focus on the schools program. And so we tap into the talent that's still raw, that's uninitiated. We expose them to the world of poetry while they're still at a very young age, and they can see the potential that the craft has. And so if they're passionate about it, then they really take a step forward and they just move into it. And so I think the fact that we support the grassroots allows us to continue to tap into that for future installations. So it's not just about celebrating those who've already made it, but it's allowing those who want to come into the craft to come into their own and also then share that stage eventually.
Now, Chipo, take us through the lineup of headliners from South Africa and the continent as well.
Okay, so it's not just the continent, actually. We also represented with from outside of Africa. We have Sipokazi Jonasi from South Africa. We have Kelvin Soul. The festival is actually curated by Mandi Vundla, who's the Queen of Slam. We are represented in Southern Africa, in Zimbabwe, by Andrew Manyika, the Gentleman of Poetry. We've got Daik Chukwume from Nigeria coming through. We have Kaloon from Reunion Island, who mixes her poetry with mbira playing, so it's a bit of musicality in there. We have Crystal Valentine coming from the US. We also have Mike Hodges coming from the US. We have Black Ice coming from Netherlands. So it's quite a diverse lineup this year.
And what's the theme for this year's festival, and what are some of the issues that will be highlighted?
Okay, this year we decided not to actually just go with the theme. We wanted to open it up. There have been so many topical issues that have been happening within the country, within the continent, and we thought it would really be cool to just have the poets come up and speak to the various aspects that have really been affecting them in the different spaces that they are, because geographically we do have quite a diverse geographical contingent of poets this year.
Now, Chipo, break down for us, if you can, the 7-day program of the festival and what sort of activities will be happening throughout the week.
Okay, it's quite jam-packed. So essentially most of the days, so from the 16th to the 20th, the program is essentially the same. So in the morning, we have campus invasions at the various universities and tertiary institutions around Durban. And then we also have simultaneously the schools program. So we go into high schools. And so during those times, the different poets will be giving workshops, they'll be giving presentations, they'll also be giving performances at the different institutions that they're at. And then at 7 p.m. every evening, we're at the Elizabeth Sneddon for the actual performances that they are coming through for. And then on the 21st, we have our finale, where we have a small concert, and we have a poetry slam, an open mic session, and quite a lot of workshops as well around performance poetry, how to get published. We also have on the 21st several poets who are publishing their books, actually just launching them at the festival.
Gosh, that's one hell of a jam-packed festival, Chipo. Now, when this festival was established 2 decades ago, has it lived up to the initial vision and the mission that it set out to achieve?
Okay, when it was initiated, it was a space for kind of protest poetry. I think it was just to give a voice to the voiceless and to just get heard. And I think it has lived up to that expectation. It has lived up to that mandate. It's something that we really try to push, because we're saying poetry is such a powerful tool. And being in Africa, where we are such a musical continent, a rhythmic continent, we have so much to say. And I think I even said this a few weeks ago in one of the press releases that we sent out, where I said, we're coming from a place of hurt, a place of pain. And usually when you come from a place of pain, in order to heal, you need to release. And we found that through poetry, we can tell our stories as South Africans, where we're coming from and where we want to see ourselves going, and just open up that space for dialogue in a very safe environment.
Well, Chipo, I'm afraid we have to end it there, but then I'm so envious of this festival, and I've had what's called a FOMO, the fear of missing out, but then all the best in this festival.
Thank you so much.
That's Chipo Zhou, and she's been speaking to us about the 21st Poetry Africa International Festival that will be taking place from the 16th to the 21st of October in Durban. Now, this is where all things poetry will convene in an effort to share and celebrate cultural reflections and discourses. Well, this is Morning Live. Let's take